Hello and welcome back to Wenzel's World. I hear in the morning time when it's real refreshing. Mm. You can breathe in some cooler air. Real refreshing. I didn't remember to look to see what the temperature is out here, but I'd say it's 70, 68, 9, something like that. So, very refreshing. And so, how y'all doing today? Hope everything's well on your end. So, and here on the farm, why, we got the moon's up yonder. We got the full moon. So we had it. When was the full moon? Saturday, I think. So it's still very round looking. It was very bright this morning when I woke up. Got out about 4 o'clock, and so anyway, got through with my studying, trying to pray, and first one thing to another, like that. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. So, first things first. But anyway, well, I got two or three things on my mind today, so we'll just get started. First of all, I got my Meerschaum pipe out here. Mm. And so, and the particular tobacco that I got in it is Super Balkan, and it was sent to me by a fellow presenter of the YTPC. His channel is called Tennessee Piper. So if you'd like to check out a Southern Pipe channel, then check out the Tennessee Piper. Like I say, he sent me a couple of blends of tobacco, and he was really wanting to know my opinion about a blend called Super Balkan. He said that he got tongue bite from it and wanting to know what it did for me or to me and what I thought about the blend. And I'll be the first to admit that, yeah, if you don't watch it, it will bite you. So let me tamp it down a little bit right here with my tamper that was gifted to me by the Mustard Seed Piper. So another fellow presenter here on the YTPC. And so I tamp some of that ash down and might pour off a little whatever's on top that's loose and get us a fresh start here. We'll chat a little more. Yeah, boy. And you know something else about this tobacco? Now he sent it to me in a little old plastic bag. So I got nothing on it about how old it is, what what uh, what it's been cased in, what if it's got a topping, one or the other. I don't know, but it tastes like it's got some type of a flavored topping to it. And generally, with me, with those toppings like that, personally, I do have to watch it or I'll get the tongue bite. I might not get it on here since I'm not just, reading, holding my pipe, clenching it, or doing some work or something other. So might not get it this bad, but I can tell that it's got the capability to bite. So yeah, to answer your question, Dennis, it creates tongue bite. So, and of course, that mileage may vary with different people of how much we can tolerate toppings and it being cased in certain things and like that. So, anyway, would I buy a tin of this knowing what it is? Nope, I wouldn't. anyway, and there's all kind of blends. I mean, there's so many I've never used, and a lot that have used, and some I forgot about. So anyway, let me fire it up again here, and we'll progress along here today. Now, the first time I tried this, I tried it in my rat trays pipe, and it's got a 9 millimeter filter, and so I tried it in it first, and that does tone it down. It going through that charcoal filter, it does tone this tobacco down a little bit. So if you are using a pipe without a filter, you might want to experiment and try this super bulk in a pipe that you can put a filter in. And I'd advise you not to use them rolled up filters. I call them cheap filters, and they'll get wet real quick. But them charcoal filters, and I tell you, the bigger the filter, the diameter, I think it's the 9 millimeter. Nine's more than six, but anyway, uh, the small charcoal filters, they get wetter quicker than the bigger charcoal filters. So anyway, if you're going to use a filter, of course, I'm not telling you what to do or anybody's watching this, but with my evaluation of these filters, the rolled up cheap filters, I just soon stick a piece of tissue paper down in. I mean, they're all going to get wet. But the charcoal filter's better, and the bigger the diameter of the charcoal filter, with me, it works better. So, anyway, hey, I'm trying to get it going again. Let me get my thing here, and we'll progress along what we're talking about. Well, something I did not last Friday, but the Friday before. In my 60 plus years of living, I've never been to a Major League Baseball game. So, like I say, the first Friday, which was the 1st of August, my son and myself, he got tickets to the Braves competing with the Cincinnati Reds, the Atlanta Braves, and the Cincinnati Reds there in Cincinnati at their ball field. And so it was a day game. And so we got up there and went through all the traffic, and more hectic getting out of Cincinnati than it was getting into it for the day, and went to a baseball game. And when I first walked out into the bleachers onto that field, I mean, there was a certain, I don't know, I can't put a word to it, but anyway, it's a feeling I haven't experienced like that before. So, and to be in them, and we were pretty close. We were very close to third base. There wasn't a whole lot of activity on third base, but not until the last inning. And so they'd played the day before. I think the Braves won. The Braves lost that day to Cincinnati, and they were going to play the next day at a racetrack in Bristol, Tennessee, but it rained them out that night. So I think the boys said they played the next day, and the Braves won. So, of course, I keep mentioning the Braves because we were rooting for the Braves. You say, well, you live close to Cincinnati, closer than you do Atlanta. Yeah, but I grew up down in Tennessee. So, anyway, and since the Sounds, I think is the name, wasn't playing, and so which I don't really keep up with them anyway. So anyhow, but like I say, the first Major League Baseball game I was ever in, so I enjoyed it. So anyway, well, let me fire this up again. And of course, I'm gonna make up the caption when I fill out the description of this particular video, and I know it showed up for you there, that going back to the land of the day, I want to talk about poultry, and in particular, chickens. And whenever you write the word poultry, there's a lot of different fowl you can put under that heading. You can put chickens, you can put turkeys, you can put ducks, geese, guineas, you know, quail. There's all kind of different pigeons. I guess they fit. I guess pigeons fit under poultry. Anyway, let that be as it may. But generally, when you get to thinking about poultry, you get to thinking about chickens, okay? And there's different type of chickens used for different reasons. All the chickens that I have are laying hens. Of course, he may get cranked up here directly. I got a rooster over there that was given to me. I hadn't had one in a long time, and the daughter-in-law bought a couple, and they were young, and she thought maybe they were going to be pullets, but they both wound up being roosters. So she gave me one of them, so we got a rooster again. So you can't have a hen can't sit and hatch off chickens unless there's a rooster involved. So they can still sit, they just won't never hatch off anything. But anyway, so then I got four hens. Only two of them are laying, and four hens and one rooster. So what I got then, I'm got for eggs. They are chickens that you can use for meat chickens. They're specifically raised up for that purpose. And somebody might be thinking, well, can't have any chickens. I ain't got enough property for that. Well, that's one good thing about chickens. If you got a house and got a piece of a yard, that means if you mowing some, even if you have to only mow with a push mower, meaning that you don't have very much yard and a push mower doesn't take you very long to mow with it. If you got a backyard, you can have every how many chickens you think you might need if you're single, or if you got a family of two, or if you got, you know, man, woman, young'uns in the family, two or three children. Then you can get by with something like 4 or 5 hens. I got four, only two of them are laying. I don't know. Hope the other two start. If they don't, why we'll have to do something else. But anyway, you can have chickens for your eggs, or you can have chickens for meat, and it doesn't take much property for that. And another good thing about the housing the chickens, if you look behind me, you're going to see two different contraptions. And they're what is called chicken tractor. You say, well, why call them tractor? Don't look like a tractor to me. Well, if you can see back there on that particular chicken tractor here, right in the back there, there's a couple of wheels, one on each side. And then over here, I don't guess you can see the back wheels here, but right there on that chicken tractor, get off of here, bug. There, get off of here, bug. There is a couple of wheels back here on this chicken tractor. That way, I pick them up in the front. That one's got handles on it, and this one over here then has got a rope with a piece of a hose, rope going through a piece of a hose for a handle. And so I pick up, much like a wheelbarrow, and I pick up the front then, and with them wheels then, it pivots on the wheels, and I'm able to roll those things around, and you can keep your chickens on grass, fresh grass. Chickens eat grass. They can't survive and lay eggs well just on grass alone. They still need feed, and So the feed I use a non-GMO raised grain that is processed then into these pellets. You can get pellets, you can get granulars, and I've got another feed that looks, it's just ground up. You can see the corn, uh, cracked corn pieces in it, and it sort of looks like a coarse cornmeal. Well, it's supposed to be what they call a laying mash. So anyway, you need feed, you need water, you need housing, you need some place for them to get in to be able to roost of a night. They want to go up high like any other bird to be able to roost at night. You got to have something for them to lay the eggs in. They'll lay on the ground, but I don't want that, and these don't do that. I've got some box that I've built and put some wood shavings in for the hens to get in there and to sit on that and to lay their eggs on that. So anyway, and so and whenever the egg prices, I hear about them, they going up and down, and they $6, $7 for eggs and all this and that. I don't know what it costs because I don't buy eggs. I buy feed, okay, and it don't go up a whole lot. So anyway, I buy the feed, store the feed, and feed these here chickens out here then, and go out there and get my eggs. And you can do the same thing raising meat chickens. You can buy young chicks that are bred and and to be used for meat. And you can slaughter your chickens like that. You know how they've been raised, what they've been fed. If you don't like these hormones being put into the feed, then you most certainly ain't got to worry about that. And the water that they get mostly is creek water out of the creek, or either that or rainwater. So if you don't even want to feed them any city water, then you can collect rain from the gutters, the downspouts, and your house or your outbuildings, or things like that. Or of course, you won't kill them to raise them on city water. I mean, even though you don't might not drink city water, if you use ice, you still going to be using it more than likely. That's where it comes from. It's treated water, makes the and then you freeze it into ice. But anyway, let that be as it may. Your views about non-GMO and treated water or spring water or things like that and all. So anyway, so, but you can use chickens for your meat and slaughter them yourself and things like that, and freeze them, and then have your meat from that. So there's different ways, turkey, you know, guineas. If you want a good watchdog without it being a canine, then get you some guineas. They'll let you know when somebody comes up. They'll start all their guinea talk. So, anyway, but anyhow, raising chickens and raising and having eggs and things like that, why, that's just part of living out, and being somewhat self sufficient and raising some of your own food. So, anyway, that'll give you a little something to think about. If you got any questions about it, again, you can put them down in the comment. And and but when I said not to name the hogs and things like that, y'all know what I'm talking about. Some of you get on here and said, "Well, I call mine, bacon or ham or something like that." Well, that's a little bit different with chickens, and you're gonna have them for a while. And so, anyway, with these here kind of chickens, well, you can name them if you want to. So I don't really have names for them, although I might call that rooster Whitey or Boy or something like that. He don't really have a name either. So, and so the Tennessee Piper didn't tell me where this Super Balkan came from, and I didn't try to look it up anywhere. to see who produces it. So then I don't know who to tell you that it's produced by. So if you see that name, Super Balkan, then you know you might have some red flags go up for one reason or another. If you don't mind, just give me a little more time and let me do a little sampling with this, and then we'll get off here. I'm testing. I'm testing it to see when it's gonna start firing up my tongue. Done fired it up on one side, so I switch over to the other side. Not bad, but I can tell it's that way. And I tell you another thing too, it helps to have something to drink, coffee or something. A lot of times with these things like this, it helps to have some, iced tea or ice in some type of a drink, ice water or something that's real cold. Well, that ain't too bad there when you just slow smoke it. Now, that in case you don't know what I'm talking about, slow smoke. That's just what I was doing. I'm not sitting out here. I'm not sitting out here freight training. Okay, I'm not in no hurry. All right. So when you just slow smoke and just take your time with it and concentrate or think, are you reading? Or sometimes when sewing, I'm sewing up a project, maybe I'm sewing up a cell phone case. You can hold a pipe, clench a pipe, and sew. Or if I'm lacing up a leather project, you're sitting there lacing, and you can slow smoke. Because what you do, you're holding, clenching the pipe, and you just mildly, mildly drawing it in, tasting, mildly retrohaling through your nose. So it's all just real slow like. Well, I'm going to get off here now. So I hope you have a good rest of the day or evening, whichever time you're watching this. And to you subscribers, I hope that you're getting something out of the channel. And to those of you that view, and then if you haven't subscribed, if you want to, not hard. And to those of you that leave comments, if I understand what you're saying, then I try to, answer your comments, your questions, and things like that. Sometimes I'm looking at them, maybe I'm caught between a couple of occasions, and I'll get on here to see, especially after I make these videos, there'll be a bunch of comments. So I may not say a whole lot, but anyway, let you know that I saw your comment. So anyway, well, until we meet again, y'all have a good rest of the day or evening.